everybody, so I am headed to a training facility to turn in my independent contractor agreement, which is always really scary to sign contracts. I've actually never had to sign one for a training facility before. This is the first time, and a lot of the wording in this agreement was kind of scary. So it took me like 2 weeks to really think about whether I wanted to sign this agreement, but it's a really good situation, which in terms of payment to me as a trainer. Anyways, check out the sky. It looks amazing. It's been raining for a couple of days now, so it looks like it got a power wash. The temptation right now to just drink all those beers and not work out is really high. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go upstairs and do some core work, some functional training on the foam roller, that kind of thing, and then I'm going to do some really intense contortionist stretching, which I will talk about in the video. Check out all the veggies though in the fridge. That's pretty much how it is every week.
Buddy, it's Monica with your best female figure, and today I am back with day 22 of vlogtober. So yesterday's workout was a functional core and flexibility workout. I also worked on balance a little bit. So this first exercise is a toe touch to overhead knee in. So you're reaching forward as far as you can. Don't strain the backs of your legs and keep your knees just slightly bent. And you're then curving the back, and then you're coming up really nice and tall, reaching your arms up to the ceiling by engaging your upper back muscles and then really contracting your deep abdominals to roll those knees in towards your chest. After you do about 5 to 6 repetitions of that, you're going to roll all the way back, and you're going to do a leg curl to hip extension with a leg circle. You can alternate sides, or you can stay on the same side, and again you're doing about 4 to 5 repetitions. You can also change the direction of the leg circle, so you can start by going out and then bringing it in, or you can circle it in towards the body and then away as you're coming back to center. Wondering why I'm doing so few reps? It's because I did a lot of different exercises. Many of them I did not include in this video because it would have made the video entirely too long, and I don't think that some people really need some of the things that I was doing. So if you're going to do fewer exercises, then you can increase your repetitions to 8 or 10, but really you don't really need a whole ton of reps of this kind of stuff. This isn't like regular exercise. You're really doing this for function. Now the next exercise is a back bend into a V-up. So you're going to start one leg at a time. You're going to place your upper back on the foam roller and really hang your head back. Make peace signs with your fingers and place them behind the ear so you're not pulling your head forward, and then you really have to contract your deep abdominals. You feel a really strong contraction. You start to curl your body forward, one leg at a time at first, and then both legs together, and then reaching the hands up towards the feet. If you're doing this exercise correctly, you're not going to feel anything on your six-pack ab muscles, because that's not what this exercise is for. It's completely different than a V-up that you see most people doing on other fitness channels, people that are trying to get ripped abs. It's a completely different exercise. Now after you do that, you're going to lay on the foam roller, and you're just going to balance your spine on there. Place your fingertips lightly on the floor, so you don't want to press your hands really hard into the floor. You want to make your abs and your core do all the stabilizing. So you're going to scissor your legs back and forth, anywhere from 5 to 10 times on each side. After you do that exercise, you're going to spread your legs apart as wide as you can. Bend the knees, bring the toes forward, then bring the heels together and push the heels up towards the ceiling. This is all about stretching your inner thighs and also working your inner thighs, your pelvic floor, and your deep abdominals as a unit. And obviously you're having to balance there as well, so that adds a little bit more of a challenge to this. Now once you're done with this, you're going to do this back exercise. So this is like a kneeling alternating core activation, except that this exercise activates all your postural muscles. So all your back muscles are activated, and if you're not using your core to stabilize, then you're gonna fall off the roller like I almost did right there. Finish with that, you're gonna go into this plank exercise that looks like a mermaid. It actually has a really neat feel to it too, because it's stretching the entire front of the body and also working the backside of the body. So you're going to come into a plank and you're going to roll the foam roller in by contracting your deep abdominal. So it almost feels like a pike that you would do on gliding discs, which I have featured before. Also, you can do this on a stability ball. So you're just going to bring the knees in, and then as you roll back out, you're going to lift one leg back and squeeze the glutes and then drop the hips down. It's important that you keep your glutes and your core and your upper back engaged so that you don't hurt your back. Now, if it bothers you, to go into an up dog, then you can just keep your hips a little bit elevated and not drop them down as far. Now, if you need more information about these exercises, please be sure to stop by your Best Female Figure site and blog. I've been posting articles about all these workouts pretty much on a daily basis, or if not every other day. Sometimes I double up videos in one article, so you will find all kinds of helpful information and tips in those articles if these videos are not enough for you. So here's some of the other things that I was practicing. I was practicing lateral flexion with inner thigh stretching. I was practicing balance on there, and I was also practicing my splits, which was really fun to do. My dog thought that I was playing with him. I think he thinks I'm playing with him every time I work out. And then I did more stretching on the floor, and I also did some rolling, which is probably the only painful part of this workout, and I just cut a lot of that out because you've seen me do that before in other videos. And then I did a little bit of traction for my low back, which I showed how to do that last holiday season in my Vlogmas on a stability ball, but this works really well too. Once I was finished with that, I started playing around a little bit with my costume pieces and possible choreography for this song that I've chosen to do my next burlesque act to. So like I mentioned yesterday, I'm doing a 3-glove reveal. That means you are layering 3 sets of gloves on, and usually it's not like this. They're usually really pretty, but since this act is funny, so it's gonna be, funny gloves. So these gloves kind of look like lobster claws. And the song says something about seafood. I can't even remember what it says, but there are many ways that you can remove gloves, as I've learned from one of my mentors that taught me a lot of stuff in my last mentorship program. And you have to make everything really dramatic. You have to prolong, the reveals, and you also have to have a lot of unexpected elements. That's what makes an act, really fun to watch. So as you're seeing there, they come off really easy, but they don't go on easy. It takes forever to get all that on. So every time that you practice something, it takes forever to get all your costume pieces on, and then you take them off and you're like, I have to do this again. Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and that it has been helpful. I will be back tomorrow with more exercises and tips to help you get your best female figure. Thank you so much for watching.